Hello, my friends. Jacob is here again. It's Tuesday, and I'm happy. It's a happy Tuesday. Hopefully, at the end of this video, you're going to find that it can be a happy Tuesday no matter what you're going through. I know that sounds like a bunch of nonsense because, you know, society and the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry and the psychiatric institutions of America and around the world have told you that, you know, if you're having problems, if you're having a hard time, if you're depressed or anxious, then, you know, there's something wrong with your brain. Yeah, it's a disease of your brain. Well, truth is, that's not true. Nonsense that's been handed to you all to, you know, spend more money and really keep you from getting to the root of the problem and from finding the life that you were born to achieve. That's what this show is about. That's what my program's about. That's what this channel is about. I don't want to come on here and talk about all the crazy nonsense in the world and get you all freaked out and all scared. I want to get you empowered. I want you to see that you are more than you know. Just like I found out after years and years and years of being told that I have this and I have that. And oh, I was so depressed and I wanted to end my life. And I even went so far because of all the medication they had me on and all that nonsense that I actually used to hurt myself. That's right. I've talked about it in other videos. I used to cut myself. Yeah, that's great, right? It's because of all the heavy medication they had me on, I started thinking, you know, there was something wrong with me. And then they feed that lie that's in my head by telling me you are damaged, you are a victim, and you just need to take all of these pills. And then when the pills weren't working, they just threw more at me. They changed the dose. Well, thank God for a moment that I had many years ago where I was on the floor rolling around, you know, crying hysterically. You would have thought that I was a mad person, that I was crazy. And why wouldn't I be? I was on so much medication that they would give to somebody who actually had a problem, right? And the little voice inside me told me, you can stop this. This is all in your power. Choose. And I got up, I stopped crying, I went into the bathroom, I washed my face, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, oh, I've been tricked. I've been lied to by the liars of this world, by this system. Because I'm meant to do great things in the world, just like you're meant to do great things in your world, right? We all have a purpose, a desire that was put into our heart that we're supposed to follow after. The problem is we've been tricked into thinking that we can't. And that, my friends, causes massive, severe, terrible depression. But that comes to an end the moment you decide you choose. Now, right off the bat, I want to tell every one of you, because, you know, this is the way the world works, right? I'm not a doctor. I don't have a degree in this stuff. I'm not a psychologist. I have studied like you wouldn't believe. I have looked after the truth in so many different journals and so many different philosophies and so many different religions. I've set my heart, my mind, and my soul and my spirit to it because I wanted to find a way out, because I knew that I was meant to help others find the way out of their suffering as well, like many others before me, right? This is no different. This is what it was all about. We came into this world and we took upon ourselves the sins of the world. That story of Jesus, if you think about that for a second. We all came into this world and we were told who we were. We were given a name, which isn't who we are. We were told what to think, which weren't our thoughts. We were told what to believe, which weren't our beliefs. We were told how to act, how to behave, how to dress, how to consume. We were brainwashed and manipulated and sold like a bunch of sheep led to the slaughter, right? Well, that ends now, okay? So I hope that you are buckled up. This is going to be a different show, okay? Because this is something that's near and dear to my heart, because, you know, I get so many letters from so many people. I even just mentioning that I was going to touch on depression and overcoming it, and just mentioning that, I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten. People that wanted to end it all. And I was like, hang on till Tuesday's show. What are you doing? What, that thought? It's not real. no matter what you're going through, wherever you are in that moment, sometimes you got to get low so that you can find out how high you can actually fly. You see, if you're not catching on, if you're not learning the lesson, and you're not picking yourself up by the bootstraps and saying, whoa, I'm not what this world says that I am. I don't have to be the person that I don't want to be. I can be all things. I am that I am. That is God's name. We're all children of God, whether we know it or not. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's not true. Well, God created everything. If you believe that there is an ultimate source to all of this, then we are all a child, a creation of that. And we all are at the same point in our life right now, and we all have a choice to make. And that choice is to either seek the truth, no matter what the cost, and say goodbye to the misery and the slavery and the chains of yesterday, and move on to the future that was predestined for all of us, or, you continue to suffer, and you continue to feel bad, and you continue to write me and say, I just can't take it anymore. Well, this show is going to give you some helpful hints. I just compiled a list of 10 things that I know are going to make a difference in your life, and I hope that you are all ready for it. So, I read this article in the Huffington Post, and what I want to first address, this chemical imbalance thing. Because look, if you think that it's a disease of your brain, okay, and not something that has to do with your thoughts, because everything is thought, right? If you think it's a disease of your brain, then how can you overcome anything? It's like, well, you need to take that medicine. Well, guess what? The studies prove there's a scale that that depression is measured on. It's called the Hamilton scale, and it goes from 0 to 59. 0 being, you have absolutely no depression. You're dancing around, you're having an awesome time, kind of like Dan's cooking in the kitchen, and I got the Italian music playing, and I come over and I give her a little twirl. 59 being that moment that I was on the floor crying, shaking, wanting to end it all. Okay, so that's the scale, pretty big scale. Okay, well. It's a proven fact that just getting a better night's sleep, just getting, say, an extra 15 minutes of sleep, it actually improves your depression about 6 points on an average. Okay, you know what these drugs, the lithiums of the world and the Prozacs of the world and the Abilifies of the world. Do you know how much they actually affect this scale? Like 1.8. It's like nothing. It's like minimal. Take a vitamin C, and you probably get a little bit more out of it. In fact, a majority of the people that actually kill themselves, majority of them, okay, we're talking a lot of them, are on some kind of antidepressant. When you have commercials that tell you, you may have thoughts of suicide, it's a good call. That's not the drug to take if you're down in the dumps. The problem is, I get angry because I was tricked into thinking that was the only way I was going to end my pain, and I didn't realize that I had some work to do. There's a scientist named Dr. Vincent Felitti, and many years ago he was working with very, very obese patients, and he was trying to get to the root of why they gained the weight, and why after they lost the weight, they would gain it right back. Okay, and after many years working on this, what this person found was in this one woman who had lost so much weight, being on the system with them, and then shortly thereafter gained it back, and then gained more than what they had to begin with. Well, he decided to ask some questions, and what he found was that she had been abused as a child, and that subconsciously and consciously she wanted to make herself look less attractive and less appealing so that she would feel safe. Now, once he understood this, and he could then talk to her about that, and then she could empower herself and let go of the shame of it. And that's what actually helped her to finally be set free from her obesity. And it wasn't a bunch of drugs that did it, and it was recognizing what the issue was. See, sometimes we need to go into our heart and we need to look and say, you know what, maybe the reason I'm insecure, and maybe it's not, maybe the reason why I feel like I can't be loved is it's not that I'm not loved, it's that I felt unloved as a child. And if that's the case, then the next time that I feel unloved, then I can recognize that that may be something that I was programmed into believing, but it wasn't true. And when I recognize that it isn't true, then I can actually be set free from it, okay? So it's not about a chemical imbalance, people. There's something in your mind that makes you think that you cannot be happy. There's something in your mind that is convincing you to stay in that depressed state. See, what the problem is that it's like anything else, a habit, it takes a little while to form, but once it's formed, it's very hard to break. So they create these like neural net, these little pathways, these pathways of thought where we start to get into this vicious cycle. Why do you think people make the same mistakes? They go with the same, they make the same mistakes in the same relationships. They make the same mistakes in their professional life. They make the same mistakes in their personal life. It's because they're in this pattern and they don't realize that these neural pathways, these neural nets have been formed, and it's hard to break. That's why I tell people sometimes you have to do something completely different to just break the pattern. A lot of times when people are going through a hard time and they really don't think that they can take it, I tell them you got to snap out of it, get out of the house and take a walk because you don't usually walk. Go to the library because you haven't been to the library in 10 years. Do something different, okay? Coping mechanisms. And that's really what I wanted to share on this show as well. And I have about 10 of them that I wrote down. It's like anything else. If we've learned something the wrong way, we have to first unlearn it. First, we have to realize what the problem is. And then we have to find a way to overcome it. And believe me when I say, it's not as hard as you think. It's just you have to believe that it's possible. You have to have faith that this right now that you're going through, this feeling, this pain in your heart and in your mind, this thing that makes you want to cry and just not get out of bed and just, I can't take it anymore. That is not you. That's a lie. And you can shake it off, right? You can shake it off. You can choose to shake it off. Now, it's not as easy as just, I'm just going to do that. But what it is you understand you have this, but you also know that you can change it. You can get out of bed. You can take a shower. You're not a victim, okay? And you're not stuck. And it's not going to always be like this. You have more power than you know. Don't let anyone tell you that you have this or you have that and that you have to. You just take this magic pill. It's going to help you. Baloney. You can't be set free from a lie unless you first are set free by finding the truth. The truth sets us free from the lies we've believed, and we've believed a lot of them, which is why so many people are so sad and so depressed right now. All right, so here's a couple of things that help me. Once again, not a doctor, but put this to work for yourself. See if it helps. Get a piece of paper and a pen, grab it, write some stuff down, play the video again if you need to. I'll give you a little encouraging word at the end. But all I can say is I was a mess, and I'm not anymore. I was blind, but now I see. And I want so desperately for all of you to join me, because we have more power than we know, and we're not insignificant, and we're not chemically imbalanced. We've just been lied to. So, how do we get free? Okay, number one, things to do when you are really depressed, okay? First off, you acknowledge your feelings. See, there's a great passage about the voice of the strange woman in Scripture. It says that her voice is smooth as oil, and if you listen after it, that her lips are, like honey. Next thing you know, you're in the pits of hell. So you see, you get these negative thoughts that creep into your head. Stuff like someone maybe says an off-color comment to you, and next thing you know, you get this thought that's like, well, how dare they? Oh, well, they don't love you. Oh, well, they're going to hurt you. Oh, they're going to leave you. All these thoughts start plaguing you. And then if you listen to them and you let them take root, because these are just seeds. They're seeds that are thrown at you. People, listen. on a regular basis, subconsciously, when you sit in front of that boob tube, and you fall into that trance-like state because of the flicker rate on the television, and then you are bombarded with these thoughts of insecurity and fear and depression, and what's the cure? Consume, spend money, slave, spend money, slave. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to be empowered. They don't want you to be set free, because they know that the instant you know that you are more than you know, that you can do all things. All things. That's what Scripture says. I can do all things with Christ who strengthens me. All things. And what is Christ? Christ is the power and wisdom of God, and God is love. The power and wisdom of truth and love and justice. The power and wisdom. That is that anointing that we all need, and this is going to help you get there, I hope and pray. But the only way you're really going to get there is to ask and seek it yourself. First thing you got to do, you have to acknowledge your feeling. You got to understand what you're going through, and you got to say, hang on a second. This isn't the truth. This is just a moment. I'm just experiencing something that I've believed that may not be true. Number 2, you remind yourself immediately that you can choose to change that thought. You can choose to listen to those negative thoughts. You can choose to listen to that. I'll give you a good example. Is the Dan and I, right? We had an argument, and this was just recently. It was a small little argument, but you know what it was? I like resolution. I like resolving things, and everybody processes things differently, and that's why we're so perfect together, is because we process a little bit differently. So the way she processes helps me to overcome mine, and the way I process helps her to overcome hers. That's why when you're in a relationship, and if you have a fight, and you think, oh, it's the end of the world, really, that fight is helping you to become better. It's helping you to choose better, because who wants to be angry at each other? So what I did, I was at the gym, I was upset, I sent a text, and I got a text in return, and then I text again, and I didn't get a text, and I text again, and I didn't get a text. And then what do I usually do when that happens, right? I gotta leave, I gotta make things right. I was gonna get in the car, come over here, talk to the Dan, try to make it right. And what happens usually? Well, she's not ready at that point. So I had to break the pattern. So instead of walking to my car, I caught myself in the parking lot. I said, oh my God, I'm doing exactly what I always do. I turned tail, went back into the gym, sent her a text. I acknowledged what I had done wrong, and I said, I am sorry. That's all it takes. And then I came home about an hour after my workout. Then we went out and had an awesome day. I chose not to listen to the lie, and so can you. Number 3. Now this is, you could take this for what it's worth. Everything in my life has to do with my faith, everything. And like I say, I tell you, I'm not going to tell you what to believe, because who would I be to know? Because honestly, I just know there is more. And I've had enough experience in my life to see it at work in my life, to have no doubt in my mind that there is a creator, a source, a God, my Father, that I like to call him, that is in control of all of this and has set up such a beautiful system that if we don't get over our nonsense and we don't start to love and we don't stop the stuff that keeps us in the depths of our despair, we're just going to continue to stay here until we do. That's why we get low, so that we can finally pick ourselves up and fly. Okay, so I pray. That's what I do. I pray. Who do you pray to? I talk to like I'm talking to this camera right now. Like I'm talking to all of you right now. This is the way I talk. I say, help me with this. I want to feel this way. Show me what I'm missing. Help me. And I start to seek after the very thing that's keeping me in my place, that's keeping me in that despair. And I ask for freedom from it. And then I realize that I have a choice to make, and that I chose to put myself in this place by things I had done in the past. So I have to forgive myself for whatever got me there to begin with. I have to forgive others, because really it's not what others do to us that is so terrible. It's the fact that we don't realize that they're doing it for us. Everything that is happening to you in your life right now, and believe me, I've gone through a lot. I've lost everything. I've been sick. I've almost died. I've had many surgeries. I've been in pain. I've been broken. I've been abused. I've been left. I've been abandoned. I've been through it all. We all have the cross to bear. But all of it is moving me to where I am now. And where I am now is an amazing place to be. And where I am now, I wish I had someone to tell me, to download what I've learned back then so that I could have started to put it to practice. And the best part about it is it's free. Take this for what it's worth. You can take control of your life. It's your life. Don't let the lies of this world, this system, this beast system keep you in chains. Number 4, so after I'm done praying, after I'm done seeking, number 4, another thing that I do is I start to unclutter my life. Now, this is going to sound silly, okay? Sometimes we really don't know what the root cause of our suffering is, right? But really what it all boils down to is fear, and what it all boils down to is lack of control, okay? So we're not in control of our emotions. And that's why we're going through what we're going through. And that's why it hurts. And that's why we're scared. So the best way to break free from a feeling of having no control at all is to take control of something. I control my environment. It's the best thing that I do. Anytime that I get down in the dumps, I start to clean. I clean. Man, you can ask the Dan. I love to clean. And why do I love to clean? Because I physically, consciously control my environment, my little bubble, my little sphere, my little world, and I keep it as beautiful as I want it to be, right? And usually when I'm down in the dumps, the place starts to get down in the dumps too. Because when I start going down that thing, I don't care about stuff as much as I used to. I don't care that, there's a bunch of dishes piling in the sink because I'm depressed, right? So when I get to that point where I realize and acknowledge, whoa, I'm going down the wrong way. Whoa, I can see where this is going. I said, I'm going to do those dishes in the sink. I'm going to clean this. I'm going to clean that. I'm going to break the vacuum out. I'm going to unclutter my life and take control of something. Because guess what? When you take control of the physical, you're also taking control of the spiritual. Because it reminds you on a subconscious and a spiritual level that you can clean up the mess that you think you're in spiritually. You can do it. You need a little help. That's why I asked for the prayers. Now, number 5. Now, this is a huge one, okay? The power of life and death is in our tongue. Everything that we speak, everything that we say, there's a passage in Scripture that says you'll be held accountable and you'll be judged for every word and every thought and every action and every deed. Think about that for a second. So, do you want to put out a bunch of nonsense and misery? I was at the gym this morning, and a nice old man came in next to me, and I said, I cannot wait. It's going to be the most amazing summer, because that's the summer that I want. He said, oh no, let me tell you, I know that the winter wasn't that bad, so the summer's going to be so terrible. And I said, I'm not listening to you, man, because words have power. Words are like seed. Words are a sword. That's why you take the S off the end, you put it in the beginning, and they cut both ways, right? They can cut down an obstacle, or they can cut down your life. Words, the power of life and death is in your tongue. Scriptures say that it is like the rudder of a ship. Well, used to. It's a Mandela effect. Now it says helm. But the rudder of a ship, meaning that it's small, but can control and keep that ship on course, or can crash it into the walls. So that's why you got to be careful with your words. You got to watch your words, especially if you're down. Don't say, I'm depressed. Say, I'm about to overcome. I'm overcoming. I'm making a change in my life. I'm finding freedom and peace. Change your words. Fake it till you make it. Trust me, faith comes by hearing. Say it out loud. I like to speak out loud. I like to pray out loud. You don't have to. But there's something about hearing things, hearing yourself. Which brings me to number 6. This is a good one. Now, these aren't in any necessary order, but these are things that I do. When I start to get down, And believe me, listen, it took years, man. I went through this stuff for a long time. It took a long time to get to where I am right now, right? And these are little things that have helped me. Telling Danielle, look, I'm not feeling good about myself right now. Look, I don't know what it is. Maybe I didn't get a good night's sleep. I don't know. Somebody said something to me at work. I don't know. I just don't feel right. And I want to let you know I'm feeling a little needy. You know, I'm looking at things and they're starting to annoy me. And I just want to let you know, be strong for me if I'm not strong, okay? That's very important. Expressing to your loved one, your spouse, your partner, your friend, whoever is there, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, anyone. There's something about telling people that are around you what you're going through and asking them for help that does help you. You're not in this alone. It reminds you also that you're not alone. And if you tell people, look, you know, I feel like, or if you snap at your loved one, say, look, I'm really sorry. I'm going through something right now. I could use your help just by forgiving me and just being patient with me. I'm going to get through this because you are going to get through it. We're all going to get through it. What you're going on right now, what you're going through right now, it's not the end. Oh, no, my friend. You know, when you're about to give birth and you're about to have that baby, at the very, very end, many women don't want to give birth because they feel like they're going to die because it hurts so much. And I'm telling you, it hurts that much right now because you're about to be born again into a new day, into a new life, because you're going to take control because you are more than you know, and you're not going to listen to the lies of the world anymore. And you're going to realize that none of this stuff that's going on in your head right now, it's not real. It's not real. You create the real. Stay away from alcohol. Stay away from drugs. Good grief. You're down in the dumps and you're drinking a depressant. Don't touch it. I used to drink a lot. I did. I mean, I wasn't like a ridiculous alcoholic. I wasn't like that. But believe me, there are times when I was a ridiculous drunk and I did stupid things and said stupid things. It was no good. It's a depressant. And for people that are having a problem, you don't add fuel to the fire. Do the opposite. Go fill your body with things that are going to give it life. Drink a juice, for crying out loud. Number 8, change your environment. Get out. Do something different. We talked about changing patterns. If you're going through something right now, call a friend, go to a movie. You know, do things, get your mind off things, take a little space from it. Give yourself a chance to relax and rest from that. It's a burden, depression. I get it. It's a burden. Give yourself some space from it. It's going to take a while to, really master your thoughts and to take control and realize you're in control and that you can be there like you're watching a video. I want to watch this one. I don't want to watch that one. I want to watch this one. I want to watch that one. You can choose the thoughts in your head. You just don't know it yet. You're going to get there. So you got to change your environment. Okay? All these things. Make this list for me, people, and put it to work. See if it helps you, because it's changed my life and it will change yours. Now this is a simple one. Smile. Smile. Just smile. The act of smiling, just doing this, it tricks your brain into thinking you're happy. Because when you smile, you usually are happy. Fake it till you make it. Put a pencil between your teeth. Smile. Just do it. 30 seconds, okay? Smile 5 times a day for 30 seconds. I don't know. This isn't a prescription. But believe me, even just doing that. And you know why? You're having a bad day. Things are really hard. You're crying, Go to the mirror and just smile. And because Jacob says smile. And then go, oh my God, this guy's such a meathead. Look at me smiling, right? You'll start to feel a little better on a little level, and then get out of the house and do something different. Go to a park. Go get a frozen organic yogurt. I got to be careful what I say, because someone's going to say, "How dare you eat yogurt? Don't you know that yogurt is filled with a bunch of poison?" And many times it is. So I am not making fun of you. Oh. Number 10, and this is a big one. All right? Affirm yourself. I know it sounds silly. You looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you are kind, and you are gentle, and you are handsome, and you are wonderful, and you are just the best. You're the best thing ever, Jacob. I know it sounds silly, and but you know what? You really gotta love yourself. We all make mistakes. People don't make mistakes because they know what the right thing to do is. People make mistakes because they don't know what the right thing to do is. That's why Jesus said, he says, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. So if you've done stupid things in the past and you're hanging on to it, you gotta let it go. Shame is it's a prison. You gotta let it go. And believe me, I've learned, and it's made a huge difference. And I love myself. It's a hard thing. And that's probably why right now Danielle and I are better than ever before, and my family is better than ever before, is because I finally love myself. And I love each and every one of you, and I don't want you to suffer, and I don't want you to feel down. I want you to take control, and I know you can. And I hope this little list of 10 has helped you some. And I will see you again soon. Wasn't this fun? All right, let's go change the world together. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe, share it around. Definitely, if somebody's having a hard time, tell them to watch the video. And because it helps me, really, because I got to tell you, I see where all this is going. I really do. And my goodness, each and every one of you are lights. And when you light up and you start living your life again, oh my goodness, how many lives you are going to change. Number 11. Just added one. I must have forgot this one. It's probably the best one ever. Do something good for somebody else. It'll make you feel good about yourself. We are supposed to love others. Do unto others as you want done to yourself. Start doing that and your life will get better. I love each and every one of you. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.